Assalamualaikum, Fahim. Why are we stopped here?
Walaikum assalam. So yeah, another day, another tree, and here I am. So we're looking at this tree which we visited in the summer to look at the beech mast, the beech nuts, and if you look on the floor you can still see the beech nut cases. Yeah. So
Can you show us that again? You're a bit quick there.
sorry. There's one open. So there's the beech mast. Obviously the nut was in there and the squirrels are probably eating the nut. Yeah.
Okay.
Very tough case actually there. So why we stop? Well, what we're looking at today, it's winter time coming on to spring, and if you look carefully you see these leaf buds.
Yes.
So all trees have these leaf buds. Can you focus on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And this is where the new growth will start. So in a few days or in a few weeks time, as the weather gets milder and the days get longer, this bud will burst open. It'll produce the first leaf. That leaf will then obviously start photosynthesizing, producing energy and food. That will lead to more growth, more leaf growth, and that in turn will lead to more food and more energy, and that will lead to more leaf growth, and that the whole process will just accelerate, and the whole tree will just burst into life.
Oh, sounds lovely.
It is.
Can't wait for that.
It's like from death we provide life. Yeah? That's how I like to think.
It's a good way to think of it.
It is definitely, because at the moment the tree is dormant.
Yes.
You could say it's like a mini death. So
Yep.
in the autumn all the leaves dropped.
So like we sleep,
Yeah,
which is
we
classed
sleep
as a mini death.
Exactly. So you can say the winter
Islam.
days, the tree is dormant. It's a mini death, and it will burst into life in the springtime. Now you might think that this bud is produced now. The fascinating fact is that it's not produced at this moment in time. It's actually produced in the summer, last summer.
The bud was already there in the
Yes,
summer.
the bud was produced in the summer. Now the leaf doesn't have enough energy when it comes out of the winter sort of period to actually produce leaves. Yeah, because obviously it's still a living thing and it's using up energy during the winter. It's not photosynthesizing, so it's not producing any food. So it doesn't have much energy to do that, to produce the leaves. So it produces bud in the summer when there's plentiful food, and it puts in there enough energy to create the first leaf. So then that bud will stay dormant throughout the winter period, and come spring, the summer days, the spring days, warmer and longer days, it'll just burst open. So it's interesting that in the summer, when the tree drops its leaves, it goes into this dormant stage, and I like to think of that as the from life we give death, and then in the spring, from death we give life. So
Very nice analogy.
On our walk today, we're going to look at some other trees if we can, and try and see, look at the buds. Buds are a good way of identifying trees. So if you look at this bud, it's quite long and it's quite pointed, and actually it's beautifully coloured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite sharp at the end as well. So this is a beech tree bud.
It's almost like a tight pine cone, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is, yeah. Every tree has its own sort of bud, which sort of distinguishes it from the other trees. It's a bit like fingerprints. Every tree has a different leaf bud, and from the bud we can identify the trees. So we're going to have a look to see if we can see other buds and try and identify the trees.
Okay, Fahim, we've stopped again.
Yeah, so this is the blackthorn. Remember the
On the motorway?
video I did on the motorway, and there were the blackthorn trees in flower. So this is the actual blackthorn itself.
Oh, close up.
Beautiful flowers. It's actually a member of the rose family. That's why
Yeah,
the
I was going
flowers
to say it does look like a rose, like a primrose. I may be wrong.
Good observation. Now you have to be careful with blackthorn, because they have some very vicious thorns. And here's one. It looks like a branch, but that's actually a thorn. Very sharp, and it's very tough. Can you feel it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you can hear it as well.
So if you're looking at the blackthorn close up, just be careful of these thorns. Can you see here?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
goes in your eye. You're
Oh yes, yeah.
straight in
nasty.
A&E.
Very nasty. So this is obviously the buds that were on this tree have sort of burst open. The leaves are formed and the flowers are formed as well. So this is a very early flowering plant. So
Okay, so we're on stop number 3 now.
Okay, yeah, so this is I believe a field maple. So if you look at the buds on this tree, very small buds and very compact. Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously this is waiting to burst open, and in about a couple of weeks time, it will burst open. And if you look on the floor, you can actually see the field maple leaves. So that also gives it away. That's a field maple.
Yeah. Okay, you've come off the path again, and we are looking at a tree again.
Yeah. So here's an interesting one. So here we have the buds have already sort of burst open and the leaves are starting to form. And if you look at this one, you can actually see 2 leaves forming. Yeah, one on this side, one on that
wow,
side.
isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Like horns.
I think yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what tree this is. I'll have to try and find out.
Oh, that's annoying.
It could be a white beam, I think, but I need to double check on that. So, yeah.
Homework for us then.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Fahim, I can hear that bird again. What is it?
So, over there in the distance somewhere, you can hear that like a squeaky wheel.
Yes.
Now, I have told you before what that bird is, so can you remember? A squeaky wheel.
Grate it.
Well done. Right,
Thank
so
the
good,
Lord for that.
good observation there.
He would have been very disappointed if I'd got it wrong.
No, you're learning. But it's an easy bird to identify. Once you know that squeaky wheel sound.
It's very distinct. Once you tap into it, you know, you can hear it.
Yep. Another grated. Yeah. Characteristic squeaky wheel sound.
Shame we can't see it.
Yeah, they're always difficult to spot.
Are they shy birds?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at the buds on this one.
So this is a cherry tree. You can tell from the bark. It has a sort of horizontal line from the bark. It's quite an old tree. So, and also, if you look at the buds here, you'll always find them in a cluster at the end of the branch. So here's a cluster of buds, tiny little buds. Can you focus on there?
I'm just trying to focus
Let me
on
put my hand behind it.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
Tiny little buds, a cluster, and a lot of cherry trees, and I think plums as well. They have buds like this where they cluster at the end of the stem. Not yet opened, but in a couple of weeks' time they certainly will. And here we have some grapevine buds. Again, beautiful colour, and I'm not sure if the camera can capture it, but they're actually hairy and sort of fuzzy on the outside. Difficult to see in the let's have a look at this one. Yeah, this one's starting to open already. Oh yeah, slightly fuzzy. Come on, focus. And here we have a pear tree, and again these are lovely little buds as well, different color buds, so green color and brown tips, and some of them have already started to open. So if you look at the ones here, you can see they've started to open and the leaves are starting to form. So this is the bud of the conker tree, the horse chestnut tree. And these buds are quite big, and the interesting thing about these buds is that they're sticky. If you touch them, they're actually sticky, so that's a good sort of telltale sign of a conker tree bud. And next to the conker tree I have my sycamore tree growing in my pot, and these buds obviously still not yet opened, and they appear in a cluster. Interestingly, you've got a large bud there and then small tiny little buds, four tiny little buds around it. So look at this one. chickens are wondering what I'm up to. And here we have some apple tree buds, nice and compact, and again not yet open, but lovely little buds. So remember, when you're out and about, keep those peeled, because you never know what you might hear or see.